Good morning, champions. Welcome to the session. Hope you all are preparing well for your exam and you are following the strategies that I have said in the. If you have gone through the website and if you have gone through the shorts that I have said that there are three strategies to crack the exam smoothly without any stress, without any tension, without any anxiety. The three steps are. The first one is proper health. That means proper diet. In order to maintain proper health, you need to have proper diet. Second one is your proper rest. It means sleep as well as rest. And the third one is your proper revision. That means you need to revise properly because अब तक जितना पढ़ लिया हो चुका, अब क्या करना है, उसको रिवाइज करना है। এতিয়া আপোনালোকক কৰিব লাগিব ৰিভিজন কৰিব লাগিব, এটা ষ্ট্ৰেটেজি বনাই ল'ব লাগিব। এতিয়ালে যিমানখিনি পঢ়িলো, যিটো নহয় আপোনাৰ মানে যিটো ডমেইন আপোনালোকে সিলেক্ট কৰিছে বা ইংলিছ হওক বা জিটি পেপাৰ হওক বা লেংগুৱেজ পেপাৰ হওক, যিকোনো পেপাৰ যিটো এতিয়ালে আপোনালোকে পঢ়িলে, that's okay, but now it's time for revision, nothing else, because from tomorrow the window will be open for your admit cards and you will be able to avail the admit cards, that is your hall ticket. So there is no time left, but still I hope that you all have prepared very well till now and you are going on and following the strategies that we have provided here. So today's session is on English, where we are going to take a serious mock test. I'm telling you, this mock test is very important because this is a duplicate copy of the actual question paper, or in the form of the actual question paper, because these questions are very important and these type of questions are actually frequently asked in these kind of entrance examinations. So let's start the session. Hope you all are enthusiastic, even if I know that you are very stressful, you are full of anxiety, but still I hope and still I want you people to interact in the session and be a part of the session so that we can help each other in reaching our aims. My aim is to make you all champions, actual champions in literal form. And your aim is to crack the exam and go to your desired university. So I hope that you all are very much enthusiastic to go throughout the session. Let's start the mock test. So in the first, actually in your papers also, you will be getting at least 3 comprehensions and minimum 5 questions will be asked from each of the comprehension. But the comprehension should be read thoroughly and you should understand the comprehension in the proper way. And what is asked is that very simple and minute things are asked from the passage itself. And I need everyone to read the passage thoroughly. One more thing is that whenever you are going through the passage, you are actually reading the passage, keep in mind that you are in a problem of time crisis, and at the second time you need to understand, because something very intricate and something very minute may be missed out while reading the passage. So be very attentive while reading the passages and try to manage time at the same time. So 2 things should be kept in mind, that you need to manage time and you need to understand in the first go itself. But I also insist that you all, if you are not very clear with the first reading of the passage, at least spare some time to read, not more than a minute, a single minute. So within a minute you should read the passage for the second time, so that you can utilize the time, the precious time that you will be given in the exam itself. So let's start. Read the passage. Now I'm giving you how much time? 1 minute, proper 1 minute to read the passage, go through the passage, and after that we will be discussing the questions. So read the passage. This is your 1 minute. I'm giving you 1 minute. Okay? Read the passage and answer the questions. Ishwaran had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients, seemingly out of nowhere, in the middle of a desolate landscape with no shops visible. Actually, this is the word visible. A minor printing mistake. For miles around. He would miraculously conjure up the most delicious dishes made with fresh vegetables within an hour of arriving at the zinc sheet shelter at the new place. Now, this is a passage from actually your class 9 Moments book, where you might have read this book, Moments. It is a chapter from Moments itself. There is a chapter based on a story of an engineer who is set in a place, in a new workplace, and he has kept a person to cook for him, to cook the food for him. So the person of the name of the person who is cooking food for the engineer in the story itself, the name of the person is what? It is Ishwaran. So what is Ishwaran doing? Ishwaran has the capacity to make food, delicious food, and miraculously he can make these delicious food items. So what happens is that he has this amazing capacity, and he can produce vegetables and cooking ingredients. That means whatever ingredients are required to cook a food, to cook a dish. So he has that culinary ability. So one more word that we can add here is culinary. Culinary means something which is related with cooking and cooking delicious food. So this person, Ishwaran, from where he used to collect these ingredients, he too even doesn't know, because he has the ability in order to find these ingredients even in the desolate place. So what is desolate place? A place which is not inhabited by people. There are no shops, or there are very less shops. People hardly travel through these places, and these places is not actually the place where you can find any kind of farming or agricultural products or any kind of agricultural work or activities going on. So desolate in the very simple term is a place where few people actually live or travel or go through that kind of places. So Ishwaran has the capacity of finding out the ingredients in one of the desolate places, and he can make delicious foods, and that's why the writer here has used these two, this actually the adverb, and this is a verb, conjure. What is the meaning of conjure? Conjure means to actually do some kind of magic. And what kind of magic here? The magic here is with food. And what kind of, how can he make, or he can do magic with food? He does it miraculously. So we can understand that he has this capacity to make that too in an hour. So these are the core things that we can go while reading the passage. We can just jot it down in the rough page, because you will be provided with a rough page, and apart from that you can just understand that these are the important keywords or key points to be remembered while answering the questions. So hope you all have understood the very short and simple passage for your exam, for your mock test. Okay, now we will be reading. We have to move to and fro because the passage is here and the questions are in the following slides. So hope this is clear. I am giving you 30 more seconds to go through the passage and whatever important words I have underlined and whatever I have written extra, in order to give a simultaneous dual understanding and benefit for the session. I have written a few words and just jot it down in your rough pages or rough copies. Yes, 30 seconds. Your 30 seconds starts now. Okay, done. Yes, now we will be moving on to the questions. The first question on your board is this. So after reading the passage, what can you assume about Ishwaran's occupation? So what kind of occupation he has? So after reading the passage, in the very first instance, we can say that he is actually a cook. Now, this is the correct answer. But what is the difference between a cook and a chef? A cook is a person who simply cooks food, and a chef is a person who is actually cooking food, but he is professional. Yes. Apart from that magician, you all understand, and apart from that, greengrocer is a person who is actually a vegetable vendor. So a person who sells vegetables is known as greengrocer. So generally a grocery shop is a place where we can buy food items, that is rice, dal, etc. etc. So in Assamese, we can say it is gelamal or dukan. We say it as a grocery shop. But sabji bepari is a person who is actually termed as greengrocer. जो सब्जी बेचते हैं उन्हें हम लोग बोलते हैं ग्रीन ग्रोसर, वेजिटेबल वेंडर. Okay, so hope this is clear. Next we have question number 2, and find the word from the passage that means uninhabited. So this is actually not a blank, it is a hyphen. Okay, so uninhabited, what is the meaning of uninhabited? As I have already said, the word is it delicious? Is it desolate? Is it dishes or conjure? So we have the correct option, and that is desolate. So what is the meaning of desolate? Desolate means a lonely place or a place where people usually don't dwell or they don't live in that place. Okay. Hope this is clear. Next we have question number 3. What do you understand by conjure? Now what is the meaning of conjure? Conjure means actually to make magic. So here it will be, conjure means to do some magic. Yes, conjure up or to make up or to frame up. So that is something. Even a writer is a conjurer because he can make his fancy, he can turn his imaginations into words. So he is even a conjurer in the simplest term from literature point of view. So what we understand here is conjure means to make. So the correct answer is to make. Another, to call, to help, to cook are not applicable in this sense in this question. After that, hope this is clear. We are moving in a smooth manner, and the pace is also, I think it's a normal pace. I'm not moving in a very fast pace. So what is the adjective form of miraculously? Whenever we have these words, that is, whenever there is an addition to the main noun or verb, that is addition of "ly," we say it as adverb, because adverbs are the words which qualifies or which help a verb or an adjective to express its meaning. So quickly, hurriedly. So these are the words. Whenever we have ly, we can say that that is an adverb. And when there is an addition of ous to the main core noun word, we identify as adjective. Why? Because adjective are the words which says about the quality of the noun. So adjective is also a word which is qualifying the noun, but adverb is a word which qualifies the noun and the verb. It's sometimes the noun and sometimes the verb, but sometimes the noun and sometimes it is actually made to qualify verb and the adjective. So you can understand the meaning of the difference between these two words. Now, because miraculously, we have to find the core word. So miraculously is actually an adverb, and the noun is miraculous. Not miraculous. So the noun word is miracle. Okay. So from miracle, the core word, what we get, if we want to make it in the form of an adjective form, so we have to make it into what? Miraculous. Because we have to add what? ous. So is there the option? Yes, we have the option, and this is the correct adjective form of the word miraculously. Next we have question number 5. What is the amazing capacity of, or not, what is the amazing capacity referred to here? So here what we need to do, we need to refer back to the passage, and in the passage, moving to and fro to the passage, what we get is Ishwaran had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients seemingly out of nowhere, and ultimately what he is telling, the writer here is telling that he has the amazing capacity to collect the vegetables and the ingredients and make what? Delicious food. Yes, so we will be searching for the option. So to find vegetables and ingredients, to cook delicious dishes, to do magic with food, yes, all the above. So our quest ends here for the answer is that all the above, because all the above options are applicable here. Because why? We can explain it by, because he has the capacity to find the vegetables and the ingredients. At the same time, he can cook delicious food, and at the same time, he can do magic with food, because the food items are made within an hour, and he can do magic with the food items and turn it into a delicious item. So all the qualities, all the options are applicable here, and the correct option is all the above. Yes. Hope this is clear. So these kind of questions, when we have to refer back to the passage, it is very important that you note down the important point, even if in the rough page or in your brains, because you need to understand the core identity or the core meaning which is being asked. So it is very important for you all people to know that what is being asked in the question, in the question, and what are the options. So in relation to the question, the options should also be applicable. At times, there will be options which will be 50-50 matching to the question. And you find out that the other options, the other three options are totally opposite or inapplicable with the question. So at that moment, in this kind of a crisis situation, you need to opt for the very nearest option. That means even if it is 50% or 60% matching to the question or to the answer, then you have to opt that itself, because the other options are not going applicable or not valid in relation to the question. Hope you have understood what I am trying to tell here. So it is very important, because in BPS what we are providing, not only the sessions, not only the mock test and PYQs, and not only the detailed explanation, but we are also giving lots of advices for you all people, so that you can actually utilize these advices in your activities. Yes. Let's move on to the sixth question. Identify the part of speech in the sentence. So parts of speech. So you need to know what are the parts of speech. That is the 8 forms of parts of speech: noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, conjunction, interjection, preposition. So these are very important, because for you all people, you need to identify in a sentence which is what. So here what it is asked, he would miraculously conjure up the most delicious dish. So miraculously, as I have already said, whenever you get the word addition of the suffix ly, we will understand that it is an adverb. So the correct option is adverb. Hope this is clear. Yes. After that, we have to move on to question number 7. Fill in the gaps. Dash moment. So when you are before reading the sentence, we can go through the options, and you can see that all the, at, to. So it is a mixture of determiners and prepositions. So you also need to know a good hold. You should have a good hold of prepositions as well as determiners. And in determiners itself, we have the notion of articles, that is a and the. And apart from a and the, because a and the is also calculated or taken as determiners, apart from that, we have little, few, some, much, many, more, etc. So there are lots of determiners to identify what kind of the noun or to which word should be applied with the noun. So you need to know the application of these kinds of minute things from your English paper. So here there is a sentence. What we can understand from the sentence, we need to read this kind of sentences at least thrice. So thrice is the benchmark for this. So thrice, not twice. For passages I am telling twice, and for sentences I am telling you thrice. See, because you need to understand what is the meaning of the sentence given. Just to assume, even if it is not fulfilled before going to the options, but before that you need to just assume what can the meaning be. So let's read the sentence. Dash moment I saw dash crack. I was dash a loss on how dash erect the statue. Now something is related with a statue, and statue means, you know, some kind of a thing which is related with a sculpture. So statue, erect, crack, moment. So these are loss. These are the core words where we can relate that there is a sudden instance of some disturbance, because the person here has noticed some crack in the statue, and because of this crack he or she is dash a loss, and he or she is dash to erect the statue. So we can just go through the options, but before that we can assume that the moment I saw a crack, we have to define a, an, or the, or some, many, more. So because there is some kind of a quantity here. So what kind of a crack? Is it some crack, a crack, or the crack? So because here it is the relation of some kind of surprise. So here we will place the. The moment I saw the crack, I was, whenever you get the word loss, you can apply here at, because we are always at a loss. That means at is always a preposition which is placed on some kind of situation, or which is also applicable in some kind of places. So I was born at Guwahati. So there even we place at, and whenever you are in some kind of a situational problem or situational surprise or excitement, you can put at. At a loss on how, and after how, what kind of preposition we need to put on how to erect the statue. Erect means to make it stand up, okay, or to make it straight. So, the at 2. The at 2. So, this is the correct answer. Hope this is clear. Hope you all be doing a quick revision of your prepositions and the determiner class that I have already done in the live session and in the recording session. And if you have not gone through it, and if you have still some kind of confusion and problem, do interact with us and connect with us via BPS channel or BPS website through the comment section. Yes. So next we have question number 8. Fill in the blanks again. So it is about, when we are going through the options, we can see that it is something related with your vocabulary. So read the line sentence. The chairman hardly dash on the false dash of the palmist. So here we need not to go to other words. We have to search for the options, for the answer in the options. So here the chairman hardly, which believe we have to place here. So believe and believe. So there is B-E-L-I-E-F and B-E-L-I-E-V-E. So what is the difference? Both of them are homophones. That means whenever we are listening or hearing to it, we can understand that both of them can be pronounced in the same way, and so we can identify them as homophones. Now, but though they are homophones, they have their literal difference. That is the difference in their meanings. So here, whenever we are telling about belief, belief is actually the noun form. And whenever we are telling about believe, this is the verb form. So in order to apply the verb and the noun form in this sentence, which form will be applied here? So because the sentence is in simple present tense, and whenever it is simple present, we need to put S. So S in what? S in the verb. Yes, in the verb form. So the chairman hardly believes. Yes. Believes. Yes. Hardly believes on the false beliefs. So here we are placing S. Why? Because it is the plural form. And you can understand what is the difference. through the help of the sentence. You read the sentence twice or thrice, then you will understand what the chairman or what the writer is actually trying to express. So the correct option is SS we need to find, and VE and F. So VE and F is here. So the correct option is B. Hope this is clear, very important, this kind of homophones. Moving on to question number 9. Strike out the odd one out. So out is twice in the question itself. Here we need to find out the odd one. That means whenever you are getting this kind of sentences, there is some kind of a relation between the options, and the relation should be identified in the correct way in order to find the odd one. Odd one means the exceptional one or the hatke one or the one which is out of the group. Okay. The sorcerer. Who is a sorcerer? Sorcerer is a person who do some kind of magic. Yes. Then we have conjurer. Conjurer, as we have already said, this is also a person who can do magic. Astrologer. Who is an astrologer? Astrologer is a person who goes through, or one who studies astrology. That means the relation of stars, the planets, etc. in relation to our destiny and fate. And a magician is a person who does magic. So what we are getting here, these three words are similar because these three words are related. So sorcerer, conjurer and magician are all related with the concept of magic. And astrologer is something who is related with astrology. But we have got our answer. What is the answer? The answer is astrologer, because he is the odd one out here. But a lot of students will find that because there is the suffix er, so they will find that magician is out of the box or it is the odd one out. So it is very important that you know the meaning of the words and their application and what kind of features these words or these professions has. So be very clear while going through the options and while applying these options with the answer. Yes? Next we have question number 10. Choose the correct meaning of the idiom. So we have a lot of phrases and idioms in our sessions which we have done on the basis of some themes for your understanding and for your easy understanding. Go through those sessions because you are in a problem of time crisis. So it will be very helpful because we have done the phrases and idioms in the theme based manner in order for your easy understanding and for your time management thing. So here the question is the idiom. So you need to find the idiom's meaning. The orator was able to convince his listeners with his gift of the gab. Now what is the gift of the gab? If you relate the sentence, read it once again, because the orator here, orator is a person. An orator is a person who speaks a lot. He is a public speaker. So public speaker has the responsibility to convince the people or to instigate the people or to provoke the people or the crowd or mob or the spectators or the listeners. So an orator has to be very fluent and eloquent and colloquial in his understanding of the needs of the listeners, and he should speak in such a way so that the listeners are very much interested in his speech. So we can add two more words here, is that eloquent and colloquial. So these are words which is related to the speech. And what kind of speech? Fine speech. So these are words which we can add to the profession of orator. Now what the orator is doing, because he has some kind of fluency of speech, he could convince the people, and the character of convincing the people with fluency of speech is actually explained with the idiom gift of the gab. So it is very important that you apply the idiom in the correct sense of the sentence, and the sentence is given in order to help you, in order to give you the hint what can the meaning be. So the correct answer is fluency of speech. It is not about fluency of word, vocabulary or thought. These three are not. The correct answer is fluency of speech. Yes, you have understood this? And if you have not written down the things which I have extra written on the board, do write it now. So, hope this is clear. Moving on to the next question, because I have already said and because the marathon classes are a bit lengthier from the other normal classes, so it is going to be a lengthier session. I wanted to make it more lengthy, but because of some time crisis and because of the scheduled routine for the next classes, I am bound to wind up the session with 20 questions. So we have more 10 questions left for the session in order to give you assumption that yes, the session is going to be this much lengthy. Yes. So next question number 11. The martyr was awarded dash. So who is a martyr here? A martyr is a person who has died for the cause of his country. Because he loves his country, he is a patriot, and because of that, while doing or expressing his patriotism, he was killed by the other country or by some people, or because of the reason because he loved his country. So a martyr is a person like that. But how can he be awarded when he is given the name or identified as a martyr? A martyr is a person who is dead. Yes, a person who is dead. And when a person is dead and he has died for the cause of his nation, his or her nation, what we understand that he can be awarded or he can be addressed with the word martyr only once when he is dead. So this is a relationship which is what vice versa. So the relation dead martyr, martyr dead, we understand this. That means he was awarded the sentence, the martyr was awarded with some prestigious awards or shields or some kind of emoluments only when he is dead. Yes, you can relate. So whenever a person is dead or whenever certain things happen in one's life or after his death, so we have the one word substitution for this kind of an explanation, and that is posthumous. So what is the word? It is posthumously. So the correct option is posthumous, and that is anything which happens after death is called posthumous. Yes, hope this is clear. The other words are not applicable here, and I hope you all know graciously, abundantly and occasionally. And because it is an ly word, what it will be? It is an adverb. Moving on to the next question, question number 12. If sapphire is to blue, then dash is to green. Now this is about the word itself. Sapphire, because it is the color blue, it represents blue. What is the color of green? So sapphire, dash, including dash, and other words are there, which is actually a list of precious stones. And one of the precious stones which is commonly known to everyone, the famous one is what? Diamond. Yes, we know about diamonds. Apart from diamonds, what we know, what can we relate with? So there are a list of precious stones which you need to identify. And these precious stones have their own colors. So diamond is with what color? It is transparent, or the color of diamond is transparent. But apart from diamond, there are a lot of precious stones which have their unique colors. And because of these colors, they are known with a specific name. And the names, in order to know the list of the name, do some kind of research work after the exam, not the exam. And before the exam, we are here to help you, because the list of the words, the colors, what are they? Here, whenever we are telling about green, it is emerald. Yes, emerald is the correct option. I've written in blue. Apart from emerald, we have ruby. What is ruby? The color of ruby is red, or it can be slight pinkish. Then we have topaz. Actually, it is the color yellow is not here, so I am writing it in green. And what is the color of topaz? The unique identification color. We can also say the UIDAI. The unique identification authority color of topaz is yellow. And what is the color of moonstone? It is the color of the moon, and we can say it as white. Yes. Apart from that, we have a lot of colors like amethyst, which is a bluish color. We have blue stone. We have ruby, sapphire, topaz, emerald. So these are colors of the precious stones. So in order to understand them and in order to find the analogy or complete these kind of analogies, you need to know, or you need to improve your GK, that is your general knowledge. Yes. Next, this is clear. Hope you all have jotted down in your rough copies, and if you have not done it, I am giving you 15 seconds. Yes, done. Moving on to the next question. Question number 13. I am dash confused at this situation. Going with the options, what we find again here, it is based on homophones. As we have done it before, it is about homophones. What we can listen, they are similar, but they have their different meanings. So whenever the teacher is coming in between the classes, when one class has just ended and the next teacher is about to reach the classroom, but before the 2 minutes, or it is hardly 2 minutes or 1 minute, the very difference between the two classes, in between the teacher going out and the next teacher coming in, there is some kind of chaos, noise, clamor in the class. And in order to stop that kind of a chaos, the next teacher, once he or she enters the classroom, what happens? The teacher will say the word promptly, and the teacher will shout that word. And what it will be? It is, students, champions, keep quiet. So keep quiet means to keep silence or to maintain silence. And because there is a lengthier quiet, so that is QUIET. So this is, the meaning is silence. But here, if you find out, this is the wrong spelling. Quit means to move out. And our correct answer is quiet. So what is quiet? Quiet means when you are near to the perfection, or when you are very much determined. So here there is an affirmative sentence where he or she is trying to tell that he or she is confused at this situation. So whenever it is about situation, we place the preposition at, and before the verb, what we are placing? I am, the helping verb is am. I am quite confused at this situation. That means he is pretty sure that he is confused while finding the options. We can apply it here even. From your point of view, you students are quite confused while giving the correct option, and in that situation, you can apply this sentence in order to explain your situation, your problem, and your anxiety. Okay, so the correct option is quiet. Moving on to the next, choose the correct spelling. A lot of questions, that means at least, not lots of, there will be 3 questions based on spelling errors, and there you need to know the correct spelling, and the words are basically from the repetitive words or the tonal words, where we tend to make mistake and tend to relate the meaning or the spelling of the words with their pronunciations. So here the word is haphazard. And what is the meaning of haphazard? Haphazard means not in the proper manner, not in the according manner, not in a sequential manner. So everything which is hodgepodge or here and there, or we can say hera fairy. So that is said haphazard. Yes. So haphazard, the spelling is the correct spelling, and whenever we are getting questions like this, we need not to move with the other options when we know the correct answer. So the spelling is haphazard, or which is not in relation to some kind of tidiness. There is everything dirty, clumsy, here and there, littered everywhere. So hope this is clear. Next we have question number 15. Complete the analogy. Because I have already said analogy based questions will be 3. There will be 2 antonyms and synonyms, that is 2 antonym, 2 synonym. So idioms will be minimum, there will be 2 phrases or idioms, and there will be 3 at least questions based on figures of speech, that is the devices, poetic devices. So like simile, metaphor, personification, oxymoron, onomatopoeia, lilote, refrain, etc., anecdote. So we have done a list. We have given a live session available for everyone. So go through that session where we have discussed about the phrases and idioms, the one word substitution. One word substitution will be minimum 2 questions from one word substitution, and there will be questions based on prepositions. There will be 15 questions based on comprehensions. There will be questions based on poetic devices. So you need to identify the poetic device, and if you have any confusion, go through the live session which is based on the figures of speech or poetic devices under BPS. So you need to be very clear, and you need to be in touch with BPS if you want to crack the exam smoothly. Yes. So pale, what is the color of pale? The color of pale, actually the color where the words are printed here, in which color? It is the pale color. And what we say, what we identify with the color pale, pale is the color of the yellow, that is light yellow, or the yellow which is not very vibrant. Yes, the yellow which is very less yellow, light yellow. So that is pale. So what is the color? In the similar way, in the similar relationship, what can we relate the color with? Power. So which color actually signifies or symbolizes color? Is it red, white, black, pink? So the correct option is red, because red is the color of power. Apart from that, red is also the color of stop. Yes. So apart from that, we can also say that red is the color of danger. Yes. So after red we have white. White is the color of peace, mutual understanding. Black is the color of something very sad, or something about related with death, accidents, or uneven situations. And pink is the color of very much romantic imagination, dreamland like feeling. Yes. So we have the psychological tendency of relating the colors with our emotions. So that is the problem, where we even some materialistic people will understand that why to identify colors with emotions, but still there is a notion, because we are human beings and we try to relate our emotions with each and everything in present in the world, and we try to even materialize the things with our emotions. So that is the tendency, or that is the problem, where we relate colors with some kind of symbolic understanding. Yes. Next we have question number 16. So give the synonym of audacity. What is the meaning of audacity? Synonym means the correct meaning or the similar word which we can replace audacity here. So audacity means something where you are very much determined, bold, and you don't care anyone. So the don't care nature is called audacity or audacious. So here what it is, the options, when we are going through the options, it is encourage, bold, diverse, automatic. So the correct answer is none other but bold or boldness. So it is audacious or audacity. It is the synonym of audacity. Next we have question number 17. Give the meaning of the phrase better late than never. So this is a phrase, actually. It is not an idiom, because what is the difference of phrase and idiom? In phrase, what we have, phrase we have a literal meaning, and in case of an idiom we have a figurative meaning. If you have gone through my classes, you will understand that. So what happens here, better late than never is, we can relate it with an Hindi muhavre, and that is der aaye durust aaye. So you can relate the meaning of this phrase. So that means to do something awkwardly, no. Awkwardly matlab gande tarike se, which is not applicable in normal sense or healthy sense. To do something accordingly, yes, to some extent. Next we have to do something hurriedly, no. Hurriedly mein to kabhi bhi nahi. Next, number D, to do something slowly, not slowly also, but in the proper way or in the required time. So the correct option is B, to do something accordingly. So whatever time is required or whatever thing is required to do something accordingly means even if you are late, you are doing the work into perfection. So der aaye durust aaye, that means even if it is late and you are not being able to meet up the situation or compete with the situation, you can be late because your life, your security, the value of your life and the value of your uniqueness is more important than the time crisis or meeting up to the situation or the crisis. So it is very important that you maintain your uniqueness even if it is late. Yes. Hope you can relate this with our common life, with our practical lives. Next we have identify the figure of speech. Here what we have, you have to identify the figure of speech, that means the poetic device. The bargain is at gain-loss situation. So when you are trying to identify the poetic devices from the sentences, you need to identify something unique or higher than the normal meaning or higher than life. Or it is a kind of a life skill thing where you need to have some life skills in order to identify this kind of phrases and idioms or you in this kind of poetic devices. So here there is a tricky point in the sentence. What are they? Bargain, situation, and what kind of situation? Gain-loss situation. So gain-loss, both are opposites, and whenever there is the combination of two words which are opposites, we identify it as oxymoron. So this is very important for your exams because simile metaphor is from the simple form. Personification is also a normal kind of a thing where you relate persons with some kind of inanimate objects with animate features, and oxymoron is where you have these kind of opposites together, placed together. And onomatopoeia is about some kind of sounds. It may be animal sounds, it may be sounds of some instruments, etc. Anything which is related with sounds. So as I have already said, if you have any confusion, go through the live session based on the poetic devices which we have conducted earlier, and it is totally free for you all people to avail it. Yes. Next we have question number 19. So what is question number 19? Question number 19 is match the following, and because I have already said that match the following are very tough questions because 4 important points are compressed together in order to give you 5 marks. And it is very important that you are very much clear with the options, because match the following is the tricky point is there. You need to identify with the options with these 2 tables, table A, table B. So it is very important that you don't miss a single minor thing in matching the tables. So epitaph, what is epitaph? Epitaph, when I'm explaining it, epitaph is a short, or we can say a very compressed or unique kind of a group of words in order to define a person who is dead. An epitaph is these are the lines or the sentences which is written on the tombstone. That means a person is dead, and in order to identify his burial point, people used to place some kind of marbles or signatures or some kind of symbols in order to identify that site. And in that tombstone, you know, that kind of a structure where you write born, death, and you write some words, quotations. So these are the quotations. The name of the person is here. So this is a tombstone. Totally undermine my caliber of drawing something. So this is the epitaph, whatever is written. Next we have elegy. What is elegy? Elegy is a kind of a poem which is written in memory of a person who is dead. Next we have lullaby. What is lullaby, or what is a kind of a soothing song which we usually sing or hum for a child who is about to sleep in the cradle, or we just make some kind of to and fro movement in order to make a baby sleep. So that is lullaby or lullaby. Then we have hymn. What is hymn? Hymn is a kind of a song where there is a kind of a regret, a sense of regret in the song, that why we have not done this and why this has happened, and because of that that has happened. So this is a kind of a song or a poem where there is a sense of regret. So let's match it now. So epitaph is words in the tombstone. So directly this one. Elegy is a song of, poem of memory after one's death. Yes. Next we have lullaby, that is soothing song, and hymn, song of praise or regret. Yes. So let's match this. So A1, B4. A1, B4. Yes, this is the correct option. So moving on to the last question for today's session, give the singular form of criteria. So there are a lot of words like this where it is like very difficult for students or people like us when we are using these words very frequently in our sentences or in our usage, but we hardly know the singular or the plural form. So criteria is one of the words where we need to know the singular form of criteria. And what is the plural form of criteria? Criteria itself is the plural form, and the singular form of criteria is criterion. Yes, the correct is criterion. One homework I just want to do, it will hardly take 2 minutes. 2 minutes before your exam. Find the words syllabi. And one more I can just add. It's not coming in my mind now. Whatever it may be. So syllabi is a word. Find its singular and plural form. So this is your homework for today. So hope that you all prepare properly for your exams, because only 4 days left for your exam, and you do follow whatever informations and whatever services we are providing here in BPS, and keep preparing. Until then, thank you for being with us throughout the session.